right, let's hit the field.
All rise.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Today is October 28th, and it was Game 3 of the World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. And it was the first World Series game in the Bronx in over 15 years. With the Yankees facing a 2-0 series deficit, they were looking to get off the mat and capture a win to get back in the series. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Welcome to the New York City.
Pinstripe Territory.
Just when they thought I was out.
They pull me back in.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Wish I was broadcasting under better circumstances. Isn't it weird that the Yankees always rally in the ninth inning when the deficit is just a little bit too big for it to matter? If it was 2-0, Verdugo would not have hit that home run. I promise you. This was not a 10-run blowout, but somehow it felt like a total ass-kicking. Whether it's the Freeman home run in the first inning or the Yankees not getting a hit until the fifth inning, Clark Schmidt done after 2 2/3. We'll talk about him. Not scoring until the ninth inning. Just a pathetic performance from the Yankees. There's this concept called a living funeral, where when someone knows they're about to die, they'll have a little gathering and they'll say goodbye to everybody. I've been to a couple of them. This is what tonight's podcast feels like, honestly. It feels like we're on death row and the warden ain't calling. Neither is the governor. Yankees are dead men walking. This is the part of the zombie movie where the character that we've been watching all along reveals that they've got a bite mark on their shoulder, and you know it's only a matter of time before they either turn into a zombie or someone puts one between their eyes and puts them out of their misery. That's where we are. If you're here for a high-energy rant tonight, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Just a pathetic, deflating loss for the Yankees tonight. I see some comments about the umpires. I know there were some bad calls tonight, but this one is not on the umpires. This one is on the Yankees' brand of baseball and on their roster construction, on their coaching. High point of the evening of the first World Series game in the Bronx in 15 years was Bob Shepard's voice echoing through Yankee Stadium to announce Derek Jeter for the first pitch. That gave me goosebumps. After that, it was all downhill. All downhill. Even Fat Joe sucked tonight. Unfortunately, the Yankees find themselves in a do-or-die situation. A situation that only one team ever has come back from, and yes, we know who that team was. And if it's cool with you guys, I'm just going to be honest with you about what's going to happen. Yankees are going to lose this World Series. I don't think that they're even going to get back for a while either. I think that this series ended when Nestor Cortez came in to pitch in Game 1 instead of Tim Hill. That blew the Yankees' momentum. It opened the door for the Dodgers, allowed them to take momentum, and they haven't given it up because they're a better baseball team. And we'll talk more about that too. But I know that people are saying it's over in the chat. And while it's not technically over, the Dodgers still have to win one more game. And the Yankees have won 4 in a row many times this year. It feels like a fait accompli at this point. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the mismatch that we saw in 2022 against the Astros. And that series ended in a sweep as well. But this is baseball, and anything can happen. And yes, the Red Sox did it 20 years ago this year. It would be great to exercise those demons 20 years later for those of us who lived through it. But this team doesn't have the spirit that team had. You know, that team had guys who talked the talk but also walked the walk. Kevin Millar, Curt Schilling, David Ortiz, Johnny Damon. This team doesn't have that kind of fun playing baseball like the 2004 Red Sox did. I don't sense in any way the tenacity that it's going to take to come back from a 3-0 deficit from this team. No tenacity whatsoever. And very little baseball skill. A ton of sloppy baseball in this postseason. Another atrocious send at third base from Luis Rojas to send Stanton. The guy is slower than molasses. Yes, Stanton has been amazing this postseason. He's been killing the ball. He had 2 hits tonight. But you can't send him. He wasn't at third base yet when Teoscar Hernandez was fielding the ball in left field. And Rojas sent him. Another night of goose eggs for Aaron Judge, who is now hitting 140 with a 580 OPS in the postseason. And he is 1 for 12 in the World Series. He's having a World Series that people will never forgive him for if the Yankees don't win one during his career. Even if they do win one, people will say, well, we should have had 2, but Judge went belly up in the biggest spot. That's what we're looking at right now. And you saw the standing ovation. Did not work. Did not work. You can't hit a double with a standing ovation. You can't hit a slider a foot outside with a standing ovation. And the Dodgers just showed what a top-flight organization should look like. A rich organization that can spend big on big-name players, but also have a mix of real baseball players, something of which the Yankees have very few of. Over 2,000 in the chat. Reminder to like and subscribe. We're going to talk about Clarke Schmidt for a second, and then we're going to talk about this mismatch. Won't take long to talk about Clarke Schmidt's outing because it didn't last very long. I really thought he would be better tonight. He almost never, ever gets hit hard. He has the type of general disposition where you feel like he wouldn't be affected by pressure. But he just couldn't command the baseball tonight. 4 walks, 68 pitches, a home run, 2 hits, and 3 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings. He looked awful right out of the gate. Walked Ohtani on 4 pitches to lead off the game. Ohtani was swinging with one arm tonight. Nothing close. 2 batters later, 1-2, Freddie's coming for you. 2-run shot by Freddie Freeman. Second inning wasn't bad. Third inning, he was laboring. He gave up a run on a bloop single by Mookie Betts. And before you knew it, Boone yanked him. And in came Mark Leiter. Mark Leiter didn't pitch bad. But Clarke Schmidt did not have it tonight. And one thing has become clear. This has been a mismatch. I don't think they can beat this Dodgers team 4 games in a row. Not the way these two teams are playing right now. The disparity between these two organizations couldn't be any more clear. The Dodgers hitters are capitalizing on mistakes. They swing aggressively when the situation and the count calls for it. They run the bases aggressively, but in a smart way. They catch the baseball. They take good routes in the outfield. They hit the cutoff man. They get hits with runners in scoring position, and they take what the pitcher gives them instead of always going for the home run. The Yankees did none of those things. None of those things. And they constantly get beat by the little things, which was pointed out to us all night long, ad nauseum, from John Smoltz, who's still ticked off about 96, you can tell, and 99. But, you know, it comes down to the moves from the manager, the coaching staff, you know, sending Giancarlo, pulling Cole after 88 pitches the other night, going to Nestor instead of Tim Hill. Joel Sherman had a great point. Verdugo continues to not run on contact. I know he hit a home run tonight. He's one of the only pieces of offense. But when he hits the ball, he doesn't run it out at all, ever. And the fact that he's making outs doesn't matter. It's the World Series. What are you saving it for? It's the World Series. If these aren't big enough games to get you to run hard, what are you even doing putting on a uniform? I thought that was a great point by Joel Sherman. The inability of Gleyber Torres to stay focused in Game 1, trying to make the fancy pick instead of knocking it down and smothering the baseball like you're taught in Little League. Keep the ball in front of you. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep it in front of you. These are the things that go unnoticed if you do them right. But when you do them wrong, they're huge. Rojas, does he even know the stop sign? Is he worried that somebody's going to think that him putting his hands up like that is going to mean the high five, high 10, whatever? I don't know how many guys we've seen thrown out at home this year, but it feels like it happens almost every night. Am I wrong about that? This has just been such a disappointing series. I feel like Michael Spinks fans must have felt when they paid pay-per-view or revenue or venue prices to go watch him fight Mike Tyson in the 80s. Michael Spinks, for those of you who don't know, came into that fight 31-0. He had never been knocked down in a fight, and then Tyson knocked him down twice, including a knockout in the first 90 seconds of the fight or so. I expected a better effort from the Yankees. I expected a clash of the Titans. But when they're not mashing home runs, they're just not good at baseball. They're not good at baseball, and they can't beat a team that is. Jazz Chisholm has been all talk. You put him in front of a camera, he runs his mouth. He is now hitting 170 in the postseason with a 475 OPS. Yeah, he had a couple hits in game one, but he has disappeared. Austin Wells, another perfect example of the Yankees' way, trying to draw walks every time at bat. He thinks he's got an eye like Juan Soto. He doesn't. He doesn't. How many times has he struck out looking this year on borderline pitches? And umps will ring you up on borderline pitches. The definition of a strike is not swinging at a hittable pitch. And the Yankees are far too concerned with the actual box of the strike zone, so they want to take pitches that are just a little bit outside, try and draw a walk. How about being aggressive? How about swinging the bat, dude? With 2 strikes, there are pitches that are too close to take. I don't know if they teach that in the minor leagues with the Yankees. Now, Volpe, he swings at pitches that are nowhere close. Nowhere close. You call up the Martian, you can't even play him in the postseason because he can't catch a frickin' fly ball. What is going on with this organization? We should not be shocked that they are down 3-0 in the series. And I told you what I think is going to happen. We're going to have to watch the Dodgers celebrate in the Bronx either tomorrow or after Game 5. Before we take a look at Game 4, let's take some comments here. Peter Van Dusen says, permission to cry. You can cry. Adam Hyman says, Boone has never won a series outside the Central. That's funny. You're right. Evil Monkey says, as far as the season goes, the running game has been terrible all season. How many players have gotten thrown out because the third base coach is incompetent? Yes. That's the run sound at Yankee Stadium. Something we should have heard more this year, but these guys keep getting thrown out. Jared Hood says, did I wait 15 years to watch the Yankees get swept? Embarrassing, pathetic, all of it. John Falsetta says, series ended when Boone pulled Cole with 88 pitches. You can make that case. Bill says, thanks for all the recaps. Season is over. I've got at least one more recap. I'll be here. I'm hoping to be here 4 more times. If we get 4 more games and they lose in 7, I won't even complain about it because it'll be a great all-time series. Just to force a Game 7. But the way this team is playing and the brand of baseball that they've chosen to play and chosen to teach, I don't think can beat the Dodgers. I don't think they can beat them. And the Dodgers are going to be better next year. Franklin says, thanks for an amazing year. You're an awesome podcaster. Appreciate that. Yanks need a complete rebuild. Too bad it's not going to happen with Howe in charge. You're absolutely right.
That's
Absolutely
what they
right.
do. Run the bases like drunks.
Machote says, also, the general manager makes deals at the trade deadline without fearing any repercussions because he has balls. Because I don't think that makes sense. I think you got that backwards. Fire Cashman, he says. We picked up Mark Leiter and Jazz Chisholm at the deadline. Chisholm was a pretty good regular season move. Mark Leiter has pitched pretty good in the postseason, 2.25 ERA, but he was originally left off the postseason roster. Meanwhile, Dodgers went and got Jack Flaherty, Michael Kopech, Tommy Edman. All of those guys, killing us in this series. Killing us. Steven Benevento says, win or not, the Yankees got to sign Juan Soto and start the rebuild, fire Boone and the rest of the coaching staff. Amen. Amen. I think this team needs a ground-up rebuild. But here's the thing. Even if you do that, our captain still can't hit in the postseason. Our captain folds like a cheap suit in the postseason. I didn't think I'd be saying those words. In fact, a week ago, if you said those words to me, I was saying, he'll come around. Nope. He's not going to come around, folks. And actually, I take that back. Let's say the Yankees are down 10 runs in the 7th inning tomorrow, and Judge has 2 at-bats left, probably hit 2 home runs. That's what's going to happen. Mark my words. And Mr. XS says, I think the people who said it was a fluke World Series appearance were right. Buckle up. We're not getting back for a long time with Cashman as the GM. And now Perry Anthony says, Cole has to pitch twice in 4 games. No choice. That will not happen. That will not happen. The Yankees aren't going to do that. So it is what it is. Fans obviously upset. A lot of Dodgers fans talking smack in the chat. I don't blame you. I wish you'd have a little bit more class, but that's, that's sports. We'd probably be doing the same thing, to be honest. So, all right, let's preview tomorrow, which could be the Yankees' final game of the season. Dodgers are lining up a bullpen game. Yankees are going to start Luis Gil. Bunch of people have questioned whether or not you should start a rookie in a big spot like this. I genuinely can't wait to see what the kid's made of. I think he's going to feed off the crowd. It would not surprise me if he pitched well. Also wouldn't surprise me if this team rolls over and plays dead like they did against the Astros in 2022. There's going to be chatter. You've already heard it about Cashman's job, about Boone's job. Nothing's going to change. They might throw a suitcase full of $100 bills at Juan Soto, but he's probably going to sign elsewhere. Even if the Yankees do give him $50, $60 million, it's not going to make them better than the Dodgers next year. Everyone will be a year older on this team. And they're not going to have as much money to do anything else to fix the roster. You're not going to go out and get Corbin Burns or Alex Bregman. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have Ben Rice at first base. You're going to have Jason Dominguez in center. Judge is going to slide over either to right if Soto leaves or to left if Soto resigns. They'll keep Jazz Chisholm. He'll probably move to second base. They might get a third baseman. They might call up somebody. I wouldn't expect much else. I don't see him signing a big starting pitcher. You might see him try and add bullpen help, but bullpen arms break down all the time. Who knows? I don't think there's a way to fix this team to get them better than the Dodgers by next year. I really don't. Prepare yourself for a tough and disappointing offseason.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
Dodgers jumped out to an early lead in the first inning. 4-pitch walk to Shohei. 5th straight game with a home run for Freddie Freeman. I think it's a lock at this point that Freddie Freeman is the MVP. Bottom 1, Yankees also put the leadoff man on base. Gleyber Torres, pretty good at bat. He got screwed later in the game, but he's been pretty much automatic getting on in the first inning. If the Yankees do bring him back, which I do not think they will, I think he should stay in the leadoff spot. Very nice hand for Juan Soto, what could be his last series at Yankee Stadium. And it was their first time seeing him at home in Pinstripe since he hit that pennant-winning home run. He smoked one in the first inning, but it got run down by Teoscar Hernandez. I tell you, the Dodgers just take better routes to the ball in the outfield. They're just better players all around. Pretty nice ovation for Aaron Judge, too. Heard the MVP chats early, but he struck out, and he went 0-3. He's come up with a runner on base in 10 of his 12 first-inning at-bats this postseason. And in those at-bats, 0-10, 7 strikeouts. This is after he was a complete monster during the regular season in the first inning. I believe he set the American League record for home runs in the first inning, or at least came close. Both pitchers had a good second inning. Bueller's was much better. Guys, stop texting me during my show. Dodgers scored again in the third inning. They left the bases loaded. Nice job by Mark Leiter, I thought. Came in a tough spot, and then he battled back from 3-1. Dodgers tried to squeeze in the 4th inning. Nice job by both Leiter and Trevino to get the runner at home. Cortez came in, got a big strikeout of Ohtani, who's basically swinging with one arm right now. Would not shock me if they gave him the day off tomorrow, because then he would have 2 days off before you go back to L.A. Actually, no. He would just have another day off, and then you'd have one more shot at Yankee Stadium. Maybe they won't give him the day off, now that I think about it. Anyway, Judge in the 4th led off with a routine fly ball to left field, and here was John Sterling's call.
And the break ball, there it goes. Deep left center field, and Teoscar is there to make the catch. Oh, did I get fooled on that?
Next batter was Giancarlo Stanton. He finally picked up the first hit of the game for the Yankees. He tried to score on the single by Volpe, but Rojas got him thrown out. Another really bad send by Rojas. Stanton was not yet at third base. I want to repeat this. When Teoscar Hernandez was fielding the ball, that is unexcusable. Giancarlo Stanton can hit the ball a mile. He is incredibly clutch, but he cannot run, and he is never going to be able to run again. It was a stupid play. It was a risky play, and it burned us. Rojas, and look, I don't often call for people's jobs, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Rojas needs to be fired. Rojas, after this season, absolutely cannot bring him back. I know the audit is ongoing this season. I hope the audit finds that Rojas needs to go. Gotta go. Fire him. Terminate him. Whatever. Launch him into the sun. Top 5, Freddie Freeman, who also cannot run at all, hit a slow, soft ground ball to third base. Jazz Chisholm tried to rush it and booted it. More sloppy baseball. Top 6, Jake Cousins hit Ohtani. No. Who did he hit with a pitch? He hit somebody with a pitch. They scored on a base hit up the middle. Just standard baseball. Something the Yankees don't do well. I'm going to find out who he hit by a pitch, because I wrote down Ohtani, but I don't think it was Ohtani. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It was Lux. It was Lux. He hit Gavin Lux with a pitch. Lux stole second base, scored on a base hit. Just routine baseball. Something the Yankees don't do well. Austin Wells came in to pinch hit for Trevino in the 7th. Struck out looking. I told you, too close to take. Torres also struck out looking on a pitch above the strike zone. But first pitch of the at-bat was crushable, and he took it for a gimme strike. I can't imagine Freddie Freeman or Mookie Betts or Shohei Ohtani letting that pitch pass. The Yankees, they've had this pounded into their psyche. Walks are as good as home runs. Walk. And now they all take way too many pitches and take way too many close pitches. Dodgers hang on to win, and they lead the series 3-0.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. If you ain't first, you're last.
Michael Anderson with the Super Chat says, do you think Booney is loading up those highlights of the 0-3 comeback from Boston to motivate the boys? Don't get me started on that. That's what the Yankees looked at in 22 when they were behind 0-3 to the Astros. They were watching highlights of the Red Sox. One of the many things that this team has done wrong. And Michael Rubio says, Fat Joe curse. Derek curse. Fuck! Well, guys, it's been a good year. Yankees got number 1 seed, won a couple of playoff series, but the end of the line is in sight. And I think it's probably going to happen either tomorrow or in Game 5. I can't see the Yankees winning 2 in a row. I don't know if I can see them winning 1 in a row. I honestly, just knowing the heart of this team, I expect them to roll over and play dead tomorrow. So, wear black, prepare for a funeral. 2,300 in the chat. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on all the stuff. Take a few comments here. Adam Lamparello says, Judge, we hold that you are guilty. Melon Lord says it's been a shitty year. I disagree. It has not been a shitty year. We haven't reached our goal. We're not going to be world champs, but we still had some good moments. Juan Soto had some good moments. Judge hit 58 regular season home runs. Nothing in the postseason. We beat out the Orioles. So, anyway, we're going to call it a night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Ball game over.
If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.